A big hello to everybody watching this. My name is BarriKade, and welcome back to Belladonna. This will be part 2, and we'll be diving right back in where we left off. We are diving exactly back in where we left off. Alright, so I need to find a thing.
Books.
Bookshelf.
A lot of natural philosophy and chemistry.
Wait, was that a thing? I think I saw a highlight over there. Skull. Magnet. Oh, okay. Good job, me. Missed the magnet entirely.
I love magnets.
You might not after having that apparatus drilled in your head. Just saying. I don't want to make any assumptions, but, you know. Alright, maybe we can combine the stick and the magnet?
Look, I can attach the magnet to the end of the stick.
What? I'm pretty sure that magnet is not... Alright, whatever. Alright,
Another locked door.
Yes, it is.
Let's take a peek through.
No, don't do it! Alright, magnet on a stick.
Let's hope this works.
Why would this work?
Aha! Just as planned.
Sure. Whatever.
I got the basement key.
Alright. Is that the key for this door? Yes, it... Alright. Ominous sound? That's fine. That's fine. Another journal page.
More letters. Has he figured it out yet?
Gotta get my voice on. I see now that my suspicions have been well grounded, albeit aimed in the wrong direction. Belladonna is not seeing another man. She is seeing a woman. I am convinced that it must be that maid, Claire or whatever her name might be. She and Belladonna are up to something, I'm sure of it. I to think of all the hours I'm stuck down here, caught up in my dreadful work, leaving them free to roam and left to their own devices upstairs. Of course they have found each other. Only living things in this whole castle beside me and my week-long rabbits. They have it all figured out. When I come up at night, they act all innocent, keeping their mutual secret from me as a playful game. But as soon as I descend into the laboratory, they are in each other's arms again. But what can I do? The progression of events are beyond my control, just like my work. I slave away in my ghoulish endeavor, making progress every hour, but never getting anywhere. And simultaneously Belladonna is slipping away from me, further and further for every night. And yet nothing ever changes. Should I confront them? Storm up there, hoping to catch the two in the act? Take back the life that was mine, the wife that was mine? No. I have no reason for my silly suspicions. No evidence whatsoever. Merely a thought stuck in my brain refusing to leave. So I remain passive, as always. And each new day is one more where I am unable to make an action, unable to change my wretched situation. I suspected as much, but then these might just be the ramblings of an entirely insane individual. I mean, presumably. So the big gear goes in the rectangle socket. Triangular gear goes in the... Okay. And then the small cogwheel. Okay. Well, that was certainly challenging. Oh, is that what he looks like? Another journal page! Oh, you know. It is clear to me what I must do. I am now convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that my wife is unfaithful. They still hide it very well, her and that housemaid, but my logical mind tells me there is no other explanation. For countless hours I have pondered this situation. The more I think about it, the more certain I have become that my judgment is correct. These countless hours are hours I could have spent thinking about my work. It is clear to me that I will never be able to fully concentrate on the puzzles at hand, as long as my thoughts keep creeping back to my wife and her new lover. This is the very reason that my research is progressing at such an agonizingly slow pace. It is clear to me what I must do. Belladonna herself is the person who I want back into my life, so I cannot punish her. That leaves her lover, the young maid. She is unimportant, and it is she that must go. I could fire her and throw her out of the household, but I fear this would not resolve anything. The two of them would still know of each other, and they could write secret forbidden love letters or meet up at secluded rendezvous. No, it is clear to me what I must do. I must get rid of the maid for good. A plan is already taking form in my head. In the greenhouse out back, I keep a lot of plants and herbs. One of the specimens I have is called Deadly Nightshade, an interesting plant with many medical uses, but its renown comes from the fact that its extract is lethal already at small doses. Preparing a powder from this poisonous plant is not at all problematic. Getting the victim to ingest the dose will be a challenge, but I expect to have ample opportunity. They are not aware I know the truth, and thus suspect nothing. The maid will fall ill, and within a short time she will die of seemingly natural causes. No one will be the wiser concerning the true circumstances of her demise. Deadly Nightshade is merely the common name for this plant. Its scientific name is Atropa Belladonna. The symmetry strikes me as beautiful. The poor girl strayed too close to the Belladonna, and that would be the death of her. Well, I wonder if he hasn't already used her cooling corpse for the body of our Belladonna. I think someone got bludgeoned to death.
A big and heavy candlestick. It looks like there used to be two of them.
Ah, very subtle game.
It's a mortar. And a pestle, too.
Oh,
they seem
okay,
to belong here, but I'll remember where they are
a little
in
bit
case
sad.
I need them another time. It's warm. I haven't realized until now just how cold my body is.
Dr. Wolfram von what?
The label
My
says
goodness,
Dr.
that is an
Wolfram
amazing
von
name.
Trauerschloss. So this is the man who brings the dead back to life. He looks
Don't
as
worry,
though
I'll
he
do
would
it
have been
for you.
handsome once.
My wife took the wayward maid's death harder than I expected, further confirming my suspicions that they were
The story
indeed
is
in a
so
secretive
sad.
love affair.
I don't even
She was
know if I want
passionate
to
and
read this
irrational,
one.
raging all day and crying all night. Where a few months ago the cold shroud of silence lay over our house, now there is the wailing shrieks of bedlam. One should think that she would be used to dealing with the grief of lost loved ones by now. Jesus. However, in all sincerity, I don't believe she was ever as affected by the death of our only son as I was. I also suspect that she might have guessed I had something to do with her lover's demise. If she wouldn't talk to me before, and now she yells and barks at my every movement. I hardly leave my laboratory these days. I even have a small bed down here, where I sleep the few hours when I'm not working. All the while she prowls around upstairs like a hungry tiger, and attacks me over futile nitpicks as soon as I poke my head out. What happened to the love we shared when we were married? We were going to live together in her inherited castle. We were going to have children together. Now all I get is abuse, and a cold bed in the basement. All I want is for things to go back to the way they were before all this. Well, you probably shouldn't have killed her lover. Or turned into a mad scientist. Yes, indeedy. Oh, okay.
The name on the
We
plaque
need
is
that.
Lucas von
Yes.
Trauerschloss.
We certainly
This must
do
be the
need
ashes
that.
of Wolfram's son.
No! Not a dead
Beautiful
body.
China bowl. It looks
Alright, let's go
hand-painted.
investigate. Pretty sure that's the doctor.
A dead body.
Oh no! Who indeed? Certainly not
It's
the
the body of
angry
Dr.
wife
von
whose
Trauerschloss.
lover he brutally
He's
murdered.
dead. And what's more, he's been murdered. But who could have done this?
Oh, Belladonna,
There must be some clues
your powers of
around.
observation astound me.
The missing candlestick. And it seems to be the murder weapon.
Well,
Blood is flowing from a wound in his skull.
you just mentioned
wonder if
it.
he was alive
There are
when he
no
was killed,
clockwork
or if he was
or
just a
artificial
mechanical
parts, as far as you can
cadaver
see.
like
I
me.
think that's the
There's no clockwork or
indicator.
artificial parts that I can see. But how can you tell? The back of his head has been cracked open by a heavy blow. He couldn't have seen the attack coming. He was dead before he knew what happened. So, he trusted his assailant then?
Oh, I'm seeing perhaps a pattern here.
Me?
I think the wife may have killed the doctor
no
after
memories
he
from my life
poisoned her
before.
lover.
Maybe it was
And
I
then the
who
wife
killed him.
used the doctor's
But
research to bring her back to
how was
life.
I brought
I have no
back?
idea. I'm talking out of my... What? Get my voice back? Over the course
There's a
of
letter
the
clutched in
sleepless
his
night,
hand.
I have thought
His
through my
final
next
words?
course of action from every
A clue
possible
left
angle.
by the killer.
For it is indeed time for me to take action again. Even with the troublesome maid out of the way, I see little chance of getting my old Belladonna back. If anything, she is worse now than ever before. But I have an idea, one that kept me awake all night. I have come very far in my research by now. I can now fairly predictably create living creatures that are stable enough not to die spontaneously again. This is consistent through many different species of animal. I have noticed something peculiar, though. The returned creatures seem strangely vacant and sluggish. It is as if, although the body is brought back to life, the soul is forever lost. The creation is perfectly functional and responds to stimuli just as if it was truly alive, but a mysterious spark of will seems to be missing. I know no other way to describe the phenomenon. This bothered me before, but now I cannot help to think that this might suit my needs. Isn't it precisely the strong will of my wife that is causing all my problems? Oh, right. Any sympathy. Actually, no. Then you lost all sympathy after you murdered someone. There is no need to be poetic with flowers this time. I'm in no short supply of lethal substances in the laboratory, and poison suits my needs well, as it leaves no physical trauma on the body. I will still need to make incisions in the corpse to replace internal organs with clockwork parts, but stitching together surgical cuts is much simpler than trying to repair unhealed bodily damage. The integrity of her visage is a priority. To extinguish Belladonna's current life and give her a new one, to bring her body and mind back, minus soul and free will. A beautiful, obedient automaton. A mechanical doll with all the functionality of a woman, but who is responsive and does what she's told. That, my dear future reader, would truly be something. I think it is high time I tried my revivification process on a human subject. All right, scumbag von Trauschloss. To the living room, to the study. If you had asked me just a few years ago about my future, I could never have fathomed my life today.
This letter is signed Belladonna.
So strange a path.
I've been waiting to hear the other side of this story.
I wake every morning bewildered, and like a small child, I expect anything and everything to happen during each new day. The night my planned future snapped out of joint and took a whole new direction was the night my son Lucas died. I married Dr. Wolfram von Traverschloss in the spring. We loved each other deeply back then. How young we were. He was an educated gentleman from the University of Ingolstadt, and I had first assumed we would get a flat in Vienna. Instead, he convinced me we should live in my family's old estate and accept our roles as old-fashioned nobility to the little village down the hill. We moved into the castle with a staff of 30 servants, beginning the task of breathing life and joy into the majestic halls. At this time, I expected to live out my life as a lady of the household, minding the servants and indeed raising children. Before long, our first son was born, and shortly after that, he once again departed. I was devastated, of course, but Lucas had been sickly from his first day, and even though my husband had blocked out the possibility from his mind, I was not entirely surprised when it happened. Nonetheless, it changed us. I believe Wolfram blames me for what happened, that he thinks it was somehow my fault. He retreated into his laboratory in the old dungeon and started doing unholy experiments and God knows what. Those were dark times. Instead of a household and a child to take care of, I now had no guests, practically no husband, and no child. Everything I thought would occupy my time was gone, and all I could do was grieve in solitude. The castle staff left one by one, until there were only a handful still here. My existence was meaningless, and I spent my days doing nothing. But I dealt with my grief in my own way, and in time, the claws of melancholy began loosening their grip on me. In so many ways, I have Clara to thank for that. Ah, I wonder if it wasn't in fact an affair, if she was just a friend. Still, there's so many places to go now! Belladonna, if you weren't already an autonomous clockwork Frankenstein, this would be weird.
It's an old clock.
Oh yes,
Tick,
check out the...
Tock, tick, tock.
I thought you didn't have any memories.
Those are a lot of gargoyles.
To the study,
Neckbolt,
I say!
Brunhilde, Arthur, Maya, Lena, Ismildor, Ether, and Yosef.
Bookshelves!
That's a lot of books. Imagine you had books filled with every possible combination of letters. I wonder
You
how
are
much room
just
they would take.
fathomless.
There's a finite amount of letters, but unless we acknowledge a maximum length of a word, there would still be an infinite number of combinations, and the library would have
Annabelle
to
and
be
Dupin.
infinitely large.
Done.
A stuffed raven atop a bust of Pallas Athena. What a cheerful decoration. Let's call them Annabelle and Dupin.
Alright.
Look, a perfect sphere. Let's see if I can get two parallel lines to intersect.
Months have passed, and I must indeed conclude that the procedure was a success. The new Belladonna is
doctor's
suddenly
handwriting.
calmer,
I know it
friendlier,
well
and
by
more
now.
docile. She gladly keeps me company in the laboratory nowadays, and she's polite and pleasant in everything she does. One is tempted to describe her demeanor as lobotomized, but no! When I ask her questions, she will answer in a clear and articulated voice, and she is responsive to all kinds of stimuli. Verily, I have gotten all I could ask for. That troublesome maid is gone, and Belladonna is back with me, compliant as ever. Her behavior is exemplary. Our lives are returning to that idyllic past I had thought lost, in all aspects except one. No child giggles in these halls, but my research is proceeding rapidly, and the question presents itself: who needs a womb to create life? I have made an unexpected observation, a side effect of the unliving condition. The household cat, a black beast and once Belladonna's loving pet, has gained a great mistrust for the latest new form. A disquiet has fallen over the animal, and he will not go near the creation. Why is this, I wonder? Why this lack of trust, this sudden and ferocious hatred? Belladonna's appearance seems to me not much unlike what the cat before so fondly gravitated towards, but evidently the beast perceives a difference. As a species, the cat has popularly been associated with witchcraft and mysticism. Their eyes do indeed strike one as remarkable. Is it perchance so that the feline oculus is capable of peering into a human soul and spirit, and so, when faced with the created Belladonna, is distressed by the lack thereof? You are so creepy!
Look at all these old toys. Wind-up
Of
dolls,
course.
music boxes, and mechanical trains all around. I think this used to be a private hobby of the eccentric Dr. Wolfram's, before he got into the whole corpse business.
And who is this?
I should sit down and write a story. But with all these journals and diary pages lying around, seems like I already may have.
Interesting. Well, it did
Another
say
portrait.
that... Oh, hello, cat!
It says her name is Franziska Canosa, an old relative, no doubt. But I wonder how she relates to the von Trauerschloss family.
I don't know, but don't harm the cat!
What an abhorrent cat. It looks at me with pure hate in its eyes.
Huh.
It's that thing it's playing with.
Oh, good, we're not going to bludgeon the cat to death. I need to go and find...
I'm not going near that horrible
some
cat.
milk for it.
I'll have to get rid of it somehow.
I presume. Is there a
Interesting,
kitchen?
but no.
The dinner room, the backyard. Let's go to the living room. Oh. You see, these comments just make me assume that she's the maid.
This room
that
looks
Belladonna
completely abandoned.
is actually the one who brought her
I
back.
suppose this is what happens when
I
you're
don't
down
know.
to a skeleton crew.
Either
with
way,
one
she's
maid,
adorable.
No matter how
And
fantastic
either way,
she is.
creepy. I, Belladonna, must think, remember, hands,
Another
fingers,
journal page.
write words,
This one has
regards,
drops of blood on it.
hate. Okay then. That's fantastic. Alright, we're gonna go now to the backyard. Yes. Alrighty. Oh, well, this is charming. Okay. Yes, let's. Clara Stiver was one of the several chambermaids we hired when we moved into the castle, shortly after the marriage. In the
One
warm
more
light of
Belladonna
recent
letter.
events, I feel as though
Let's
I
read
could
about
pick
this
her out
Clara
of the crowd
figure.
already at this time, but I suspect that the truth is she was just another servant, one of many, and I didn't pay her close to the attention I now know she deserves. The time following the death of Lucas is hazy and unclear in my memory. I know I spent most of my time in an armchair in the living room, staring out the window. I now know that this must have been a difficult time for the staff as well. My apathy left them without purpose, as more and more of the household was shut down. Soon the cooks and stable grooms began abandoning what they wisely identified as a sinking ship. As more and more of the staff left the castle to seek employment elsewhere, there was less and less reason for the rest to stay, and the household was quickly decimated. But throughout all of this, young Clara never left my side, and she gradually shouldered more and more of the household responsibilities, making it her task to take care of me and nurse me through my melancholy. It was her loyalty and industriousness, when everyone else had left, that finally brought me back from my condition. And indeed, her love. As I now sit down to write, it has been a long, unbroken chain of happy days. Clara and I have practically the whole castle to ourselves, and nothing to do but enjoy our lives and each other. We sleep in a new room every night, cook our own food, and have picnics under the tables or in front of the fireplace. We have no incentive whatsoever to uphold convention and norms when this house has become like a secure pocket inside the rest of reality. In truth, this touches on what I treasure most in Clara. Neither of us reap any concrete benefits from our union, neither financial nor social. There is no embedded purpose of producing heirs. Our relationship exists solely for itself, and is its own reward. I am already adopting her adorable habit of unmaking inanimate objects. The castle is not quite ours, however. Wolfram still lurks like a ghoul downstairs, and occasionally emerges and spends a night up here with me. We have little in common anymore. In fact, he is like a completely new person. His mind is vacant, his stare distant. He's thinner than ever before, and shivers with cold. Clara jokingly suggested that we might have him declared mad and sent off to an institution. An innocent idea in her mind, but with some planning, this act might eventually prove to be our surest path to finally reclaiming this old castle for us alone. Okay, charming. You are almost as bad as each other. Alright, I absolutely believe that the creature we are playing as is Clara brought back to life. Frozen milk. Alright, let's go check this small grave.
There's a bottle of milk out here. I wonder how long it's been here. At any rate, it's frozen completely solid. No wonder in this cold.
You don't like cats. Oh, okay. What was that?
It says Snowflake the pet cat. How cute. The stone is so old and the name is worn off.
Oh, you noticed that one. Good.
The tombstone says Clara Stieber. This must be the grave of the wonderful maid I've heard so much about. I can't help but notice that it's been emptied.
Great
The
God,
tombstone says
why did I
Clara
not
Stieber.
then expire? Why am I here to relate the destruction of the best hope and the purest creature of earth? It was mere days ago, at the peak of our bliss, when Clara fell ill. She complained of headaches and tiredness, so I made a bed for her and laid her down to rest. For the next few days I cared for my companion just as she had cared for me, and nursed her with all of my love and compassion. We believed it was just a passing sickness, and that would be over shortly. Each morning we thought she was getting better, and each evening we realized she had actually gotten worse. And today, when I entered her bedroom, she was there, lifeless and inanimate, thrown across the bed, her head hanging down, and her pale and distorted features half covered by her hair. In horror, I beheld the body of Clara, my love, so lately living, so dear, so worthy. I rushed towards her and embraced her with ardor, but the deathly languor, coldness of the limbs told me that what I now held in my arms had ceased to be the Clara whom I had loved and cherished. Alas, what foul curse in my gentle touch! I have lost my only child to the darkness, my husband to devouring madness, and now my lover has departed this world as well. Is my love truly as poisonous as my ominous name? Well, I don't want to say yes, but yes. Alright, so we can go to the greenhouse. A mausoleum! But who is she?
What a marvelous mausoleum. The plaque says Francisca Cosa. This must be the resting place of the lady from the portrait in the study.
Naming those inanimate objects, eh, Clara?
2 statues of angels. Seems a bit paradoxical to create statues depicting something that's supposed to be immaterial.
Alright, Miss Sassy Pants. You know what? I think it's a good place to leave it here. Now in the greenhouse we've heard so much about, with what I can only assume is a trope of Belladonna in the corner there. Alright. Thank you very much, anyone who is watching this. I certainly hope that you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you did and you would like to see more videos. Please leave a comment below giving me any advice you can for this game, or simply asking me to stop these videos, as I'm terrible. Either way, thank you again so much for watching. Take care, have a fantastic day, and be good to one another. BarriKade, out.